Good morning. I forgot to turn the light on, so I'm going to go turn the light on. Hold on. Don't run off. There, that'll brighten me up just a little bit and make me so much more noticeable. We are going to be playing. Looks like I forgot to shave again. That's always delightful. Let's go to denverguitarorchestra.com to grab the sheet music. And that's also where we post the daily schedule and links to these classes. So we can get that done. Paste, shift, fix the font, add a link, scroll back down, hit enter, settings, open a new window, and then I should push update, and that will get us going there. And then I can squeeze into YouTube or Twitter, https:/Denver Guitar Orchestra.com. Wait for my face to pop up, hit tweet, and that'll take care of that. And then, let's see. Go here to double check that the link on the website is working. Scroll, clink. And there we are. All right, so everything is set up the way we usually do it. And so we're 4 minutes away from starting. So if you're watching the video of this, just fast forward 4 minutes. I'm going to sit here awkwardly for a little bit. Let's see what else. It's my Twitter anniversary today. Celebrate the tweet you just. It's my Twitter anniversary today. What does that mean? You joined 12 years ago today. Share the big day with your others in the. All right. So. All right. Twitter told me I've been on Twitter for 12 years. So we'll tweet that too. That's funny. All right. Tweet. All right. Now, let's see. 12 years. That's ridiculous. Have I done anything worthwhile in the last 12 years? Let's see. Let's close out these little boxes, and then here in a minute or two, we'll get some people wandering in that will tell me if the sound is good. And today we are playing, let me go double check. Today we're playing Frère Jacques again. If you missed yesterday's instructional video on Frère Jacques, that would be a good one to go check out. I do want to play Estudio by E minor, Estudio in E minor today. We went through it yesterday, just ran out of time to play it. So we'll play Frère Jacques, then we will play Estudio, and then we will play Hush Little Baby and For He's a Jolly Good Fellow. So we got a full slate today, 4 songs to get through. And let's see, of those, Estudio is the good one. All right, so let's see. Well, we got 3 minutes. What do you want to talk about? Nobody's managed. Everybody knows I show up a few minutes after the hour, so they show up a few minutes after the hour, and for good reason. They don't want to sit here and listen to me babble on. Let's get my guitar tuned up. That would be an activity we could do in the meantime. And hopefully one of you guys that's listening in will be logged in, and you'll let me know if the sound is okay. We're still a little gun shy about sound, in the sense that back when we first switched over to going entirely online, YouTube didn't always cooperate with its sound, and so this is a little too high. Let me push this down just a smidge. That's maybe a little bit too much, huh? Right about there, and my head fits in, and this hand fits in more or less, and this hand fits in. All right, so you can kind of see what my hands are doing. My hands are always a bit of a question mark, right? Because sometimes I'm doing a good job and sometimes I'm not doing a great job, but you guys know that. Nancy says the sound is fine. Okay, so we're good. All right, welcome in, Nancy. Good to see you. Let me get my little instrument tuned up here. It's been happening. I think my batteries are getting old in this tuner. They're not necessarily cooperating anymore. Let's get the... And then probably those of you guys that are newer, double check once your little gadget tells you you're in tune. It's a good idea to just go back through and listen to it. So this is, and it's all the fives except string 3. You hold the 4. So 5 on the 6th string, and then 5 on the 5th string, and then 5 on the 4th string. You have that change of materials from a metal string to a plastic string. And so you have to kind of pay attention whether they're the same. 4 on the 3rd string. This one's a tiny bit low. And then 5 on the 2nd string. Here Comes the Sun. I think I have that one done for, yes, Nancy, I think that can happen. Pretty sure I have that done for Baritone Ukulele, so it's pretty quick work to turn it over into a guitar song. So yeah, we're going to be doing, not for this Thursday. This Thursday, we're going to do the same 4 songs, and then I'll try to have Here Comes the Sun. I'll try to put that up, Nancy, and that would be nice. That'll be a nice one to have for guitar. Yeah, we'll do it. All right, it's 5 after. Let's get started. And I should probably write that down because I've been thinking about which is the next Beatles tune to add to our Beatles guitar stuff. And so I'm gonna write Here Comes the Sun guitar. And then I write Nancy so that I know who requested it. All right. Nancy gets what she wants. Elizabeth, welcome in. Ready for another class? Good morning, Elizabeth. Okay, let's, we've got all 4 songs we got 4 songs to get through today. We're going to be doing, the first thing I want to do is warm up with Frère, Jacques. Then I want to go back through and play Estudio by Tarrega. And then I want to play Hush Little Baby, and then I want to play For He's a Jolly Good Fellow. So we have plenty to get through today. And so grab your Frère Jacques right off the bat. Frère Jacques in A. For those of you who are new, remember this is a new chord for you. Last week we learned E chord. And this week we're learning A chord. 1, 2, 3. And you want to try not to strum this 6th string. It won't be the end of the world if you hit it, but it's better if you just do 5 strings down. Either strumming it or plucking it. Okay. I'll do one of each, and so you can hear the texture differences of those. And I'm about to sing, so you know that's not good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous. Sonnez les matines, ding dang dong, ding dang dong. Frère, are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? Brother John. Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing, ding dang dong, ding dang dong. Okay. So my beautiful singing voice and a chord. I think the big takeaway from that is try different things with your right hand, even in our arpeggio pattern. If I was starting out and I was like, okay, I want to learn my arpeggios, I'd put a thumb on the 5th string, index on underneath the 4th string, ring finger underneath the 3rd string, and then ring finger underneath the 2nd string. And then I'd slide it slightly down to get the sound hole open. And then I would do 1, 2, 3, 4, but I do it twice as fast as that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? Brother John. Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing, ding dang dong, ding dang dong. And that's how I would do the arpeggios. Then I'd go back through and probably do a ring, middle, index, thumb. Okay, and in that case, I would get. We're starting with the C sharp, which isn't ideal here, but it's fine, right? You're just practicing, or maybe drop it down to the lowest string. Then you got an E. That's a little bit better string to start on, and then do. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? end up on that nice A to finish up. But try it both ways, right? Thumb, index, middle, ring, more popularly known in classical guitar circles as P-I-M-A, and then go back and do it the opposite way. A-M-I-P, A-M-I-P, ring, middle, index, thumb, ring, middle, index, thumb. Get that kind of cascading falling sound. It's really pretty. Let's play the melody. Again, yesterday we talked about you could play this whole thing with your middle finger and ring finger and be moving up and down on the strings, but it's so much more convenient just to grab your A chord and then be ready to move this ring finger around. So just the melody, 2 times through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. Let me start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. See how little motion is going on here. These 2 fingers never move at all. This one has to play the melody. And so sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, sometimes it's forward, and sometimes it's actually down on this string. Okay, so that's the big key, is to start getting used to holding a chord and moving certain fingers around to capture the melody. Okay, and that's where tough acts comes from. Those of you guys that were book 1, I would not worry about tough acts. I'd sit and listen and figure out where I'm going to be going here in the next 6 weeks. And for those of you who've been around for 6 weeks or more, you know what you're about to do. Here we go. From the top, tough acts, 2 times through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Top. Let your guitar ring out. These nice deep bass notes sound real pretty. Let those be what they are. And then if you need to stop a guitar from ringing, you don't slap your hand down over the top of them. You drag the heel of your... Donna gave me the thumbs up. I don't know why. You drag the heel of your hand up over the bridge and over the saddle, and then it stops it at whatever speed you want it to. All right, a little bit slower. Even slower, a little bit faster. Kind of fun to practice that. Okay, and then again, remember, when you're playing this type of a song, you're also having an opportunity to practice which parts of the guitar string sound the best or sound interesting, I guess. There's never, I don't know if there's such a thing as best in music. I think that there's better and worser. But if you're playing up here, let's just strum it. Soft, pretty, whole, right? Then over here, a little more guitar-like, a little stiffer. Because the strings obviously get tighter and less able to manipulate the close you are here, so it sounds a little tighter. Okay. If you do right below the hole, starting to get really like quite specific. great place to strum. And then finally, if you go down here to the very bottom, use a fingernail maybe, you get a real tight, almost radio-like feeling. So those are all kind of different places to try different things when you're going through your music. Try to play all of those places so that when you get a song you really care about, you bring some skill set to it and turn it into something fascinating. Okay, next up, that's it. That's it for that song. Okay. And again, I spent a little more time on it yesterday trying to get it figured out what it is we're playing there. Next, let's go to Estudio by Tarrega. Since we didn't have a chance to play through it yesterday, we just talked about it. Hopefully you spent a tiny bit of time working on it. I'm going to play through it twice. The first time I'm going to play through it, I'm going to ignore the bass notes. Okay, I'm just going to play the three upper strings, and I'm going to ignore the bass note. So we'll play through that once, then we'll sort of talk about it, and then we'll go through and we'll add the bass note on. You'll see the complexity goes way, way, way up when you do that. And then you decide, is it worth it for me right now to do that? And the answer is always, yeah, it's going to be worth it to do. Is it worth it to do right now? I don't know that answer. Okay, it sort of depends on where you are in your guitar life. So I'm going to play just the first 8 measures, and I'm not going to play the bass notes. Okay, and obviously you're playing along with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, let me start again. Let me put the right finger on the right fret. I was sitting there going, something's not right. Here we go, from the top. 1, 2, 3. And I noticed what happened there was I was playing really poorly until I just started staring right here, right? And I know the song well enough now where I'm like, okay, I know what I can kind of check the measure. I know what I'm supposed to do in each of the measures. And so when I'm staring at the music, it's hard because we're going to be doing this stretch here. That's a big stretch. And to do it without looking is pretty challenging. So it's not a bad idea when you're playing a piece of music like this to really just know what's in each measure, right? You don't maybe not necessarily memorize it, but be pretty clear on it. First measures, and then a couple of threes, and I double check that. Next one's all these. Do that twice. And then obviously this is the tough measure, measure 3, pinky, ring, index, middle, ring, index, slide. That's the tough moment. And then 7, 3 times. And it repeats from the beginning. D7, real D7. Then that nasty little. And I would say when you get to that measure 8, because you're probably eventually going to be playing it with your thumb and middle finger to get the 2 zeros in there. Give that a little space, right? You've been playing all triplets, and then you get to a quarter note, and it feels like it should go faster than it does. So you're 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and give it plenty of room. If you want, I wrote just a little glissando there at the end of measure 8. You might want to go ahead and grab a full E minor. And give yourself a real big sound there. It's possible that might sound better just to put a full E minor glissando on there. And so I'm going to make myself a note that probably when I rewrite this, it would be a great idea to have a full E minor in there. And we'll see if that sticks. All right, let's play just now. Let's go back through and put in the bass note. Okay, play it the same way. The only difference is now instead of me using middle ring and thumb, middle index and thumb, I now have to use ring, middle, and index because my thumb has to play the bass notes. And so let's go through kind of slowly. Remember, you're going to be putting on this bar at measure 3, and that makes this entire piece way harder to play than you wish it would. So that bar on 3, and that comes up 3 different times in the song, is something that you'll have to be able to do if you want to play those bass notes effectively. Okay, let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3. One more time. No, I'm sorry. I missed the 2. Let me play that. Go. I'm going to play that measure again. 1, 2, 3. That first section, that's probably the best way to play it. That 5, that measure with the B7 in, there's no hope of playing that probably unless you just really go over it a million times and just really get where your fingers are 100% memorized on that, because that's a lot. You're putting this full bar chord on, which is really just a G bar chord coming up here, but you're not doing the whole thing. 2 and 5, where it becomes a B7 is right there. Okay, so your middle finger and pinky and middle finger are going to be buddies, and this guy, your ring finger, is never going to move, nor is your bar. And then just remember you go up to 7 after that, and thank goodness. So play whatever speed you can play that measure at, measure 3, that's the speed you can play the whole song at. Okay, so and then you're thinking also, well, I've been playing guitar for 27 years. Doing bar chords is something I want to do. I want to play everything on this paper. That's how I'm doing it. Otherwise, you're thinking, I've been playing guitar for 6 weeks. I don't really want to do all that work. I just want to play those bottom 3 notes. That's still a lot of fun, right? It still sounds beautiful. All right, so just you don't have to play everything on sheet music. You don't. All right, let's play that measures 9 through 16 now. Okay, and again, I'll go ahead and put in the bass notes here, but the bottom half of the song is the same as the top half in terms of what you want to play. So if you want to just play, that's fine, right? That's beautiful. Just play that. Here you've got a bar at measure 10. It's going to drop into bar 5, and that's probably, and you've got an 8 in here as well, so that's probably you want to play your 7 with your 3 with your ring finger, and so you probably want to play this 3 with your ring finger and slide it up to 7, probably. Okay, so I'm going to play it as written, pretty close, I guess. And you do whatever makes you happy. Go. Sorry, I messed it up. And then what I would do is think about, again, are these bar chords really worth it? And you have to do them in order to pull off all of the bass notes. I think 10 for me is particularly challenging because I got to get a bar over 4 of the strings, but I have to leave this 5th string open to play that 0. And so when I come here and I'm on my ring finger, this A string is ringing the whole time through that measure, and then to get that clean and pretty is pretty challenging. And then when you come back, remember I hit an A string, but it's a D string. And then I kind of goofed up my finger, and you already got your ring finger on here, so just reach up with your index finger to get the 3. Okay, so tough. All right, so now let's play the whole song top to bottom. We've reviewed all of the stuff again from yesterday. And the last thing, of course, is remember when you get down to the very bottom, if you can put in harmonics on here, it'll sound cool. The only way to do it with correct, the chordally correct, is just the bottom 3 strings. Okay. But it sounds cool if you do all 6. Give it a try. Here we go. From the top all the way through as written. 1, 2, 3. Got measure 11 and fret 11 instead of 12. All right. Thoughts, comments, concerns? That's a piece that's probably a 2-year piece, right? Until you get it just where your hands are just magically in the right spot at the right place. Maybe not 2 years, probably probably a good 6 months of just playing it out every day, and you'd have a really, really beautiful piece of music. So hopefully that gave you some sense of how I would approach it, and then obviously you do what you need to do on your end to make it fun, make it beautiful, make it interesting, and again, be reasonable about what you can and can't do. You don't have to play everything on a piece of sheet music. You really don't. Let's go into book 2. Let's grab little Hush Little Baby. This is maybe one of the weirder songs ever written. And this is probably a chance to talk about, all right, we're in the key of E. That's not, it's a pretty normal key on electric guitar. Acoustic guitar, we probably do a little bit less with the key of E, primarily because B7 shows up in here. But B7 sounds really cool. And on electric guitar, you might do a different shape for that B7. But on acoustic guitar, I think the open ones are just beautiful. And it's going to give you a chance to do an E chord with your pinky way up here. And so it's kind of a challenging song at a tough axe perspective. So let's run through, make sure you know the song. We'll sing it through just one time because I don't know all the words, and it's not that great of a song. But it's we're talking tools here, not really talking about the songs, right? So one time through on the chords, E chord and B7. Just move your index finger up 1, drop your middle finger, add your ring finger, and back. So, and I'm perpetually being late to getting my pinky on there. If you play a lot in B7, you get faster at it, but I tend to play in D, A, and G, and so B7 doesn't show up as much. And so when I get a song with B7, and you're like, yeah, kind of slow at getting it on. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Papa's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird don't sing, Papa's gonna buy you a diamond ring. And then it goes all the way around. Goes through a whole bunch of goofy verses. He's gonna buy her all sorts of stuff. He or whatever the baby is. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. They're gonna get a mockingbird, a looking glass, cart and bull, whatever that is, horse and cart. You're going to get you a diamond ring, a billy goat, a dog named Rover. And so he's going to get all these really useless gifts if he doesn't be quiet. Okay, let's play the melody. Got 4s and 5s and 2s. So probably I don't see 1s, right? So I'm probably immediately thinking to play in second position. This is not a song that holding the chord is going to be helpful. You really are going to be playing positionally. Let's go through it twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll notice already, or even from the very beginning, the number of syllables in a sentence may affect the number of times you pluck it. So, for example, in measure one, the first time it's through, it's hush, little baby, don't say a word. But the tablature says hush, lit baby, don't say word. So you want to go ahead and toss in a double for when you're doing the lyrics part of that or the melody writing. It changes from verse to verse, and I thought, this song it doesn't need to be 6 pages long. Probably 2 is more than enough as it is. And so just as you're going through and you're thinking, yep, this is a fun song to know, just add in some extra of whatever you happen to be playing. It's mostly fours that get doubled up. Instead of quarter notes, they're eighth notes. Okay, and then let's go through and talk the tough acts. This is for those of you guys that are newer to tough acts. This is surprisingly difficult. Okay, so you grab your E chord as always in fingerstyle. We always grab that, and I've written it out with lots of strums in it. So you got to come down here. Then you've got to get your pinky way up here. This is not easy. Okay. And so if I've got little, hush, little. The tablature says, hush, little baby, and then B, and you're going to have to let go of the chord to reach that far, probably, unless you have huge hands. But what I'm do there is if I've got a double syllable that's only got one note assigned to it, the second time I hit it, I'm probably not going to strum the whole thing. So I'm going to go hush, little, and I'm going to hit that 4 by itself, and then strum again for baby. Then I'm going to go grab my B7, and I see, I got a 4, so I got to stretch. Don't say a word. You guys know, usually I'll put in a decorative note after a half note of just whatever I happen to be holding. I can just hit any note just to fill in that space. And then measure 3, I'm still on the B7. We'll strum down. Papa's gonna buy. Let it ring for just a second. You are, and then you come back to the 2. Add your E chord on. Mockingbird, and if that mocking B7 words won't sing, then Papa's gonna buy you up. And then page 2, back to your E chord. Diamond ring. And that's the whole song. So it's not, I kind of purposely put it in E to give you a chance to really see about this stretch. This is another way to tell you, is my guitar too big? Most of us play guitars that are too big. This guitar is too big for me. I can do that stretch, E chord with my finger up on B, but it's not convenient. And you see how far back my pinky is. It should be here, but my hands are out of that. And I have this tendon is very loose and very capable, but I am really reaching there. And what happens is when I play for a couple of hours, like I do, this pinky gets super tired and super bummed out by this life of having to do this. If I have a slightly smaller guitar, then I may be a whole lot happier doing that. In the meantime, before I decide, okay, I just have to cave in and get a smaller guitar, and you guys know most of the time I use my parlor guitar anyway, and it's much more convenient. But if I decided to get a smaller guitar, I have to make choices, right? And if this is really a bummer, abandon the chord, okay? And so if you are sitting there on measure 1, for example, we're playing this, hush, and you're like, there's no way I'm reaching up to that 4. Then just abandon the chord. Little baby, and then go grab this B7. If you can't grab the 4, maybe you can adjust your shape a little bit, and then don't play the 5th string. So then you're on index, middle, and pinky. Don't say a word. So those are rational, normal musician things to do. When something is just too far away, you start thinking about, okay, should I just get rid of the chord altogether? Well, in this case, because it is on a chord change, that's sort of a bummer. What if I refinger the chord, just do part of the chord, and then don't hit the upper strings? It sounds fine. And especially if you are plucking something, that's super normal. You'll see that in classical guitar all the time. It's not only written, you'll not so much when they are transcribing a piano piece onto guitar. You see a lot of crazy fingering, but in guitar music written by guitar players for guitar, they'll lots of times abandon parts of the chord to get something else they're working on here. In this case, the melody is here, the chord's way over here. If your guitar is too big to let you do that, I can do it, but not conveniently, and just refinger that and don't play the fifth string. And then when you come back, now your fingers are all out of whack, so just use your ring finger or to get the twos. Right? And so just be mindful that what's on the paper and what you actually do with your hands doesn't have to be the same thing if doing it is going to result in tragedy, right? And we always try to do what's on the paper the first time through, and then once we figure out that's not going to happen, we don't give up on the song. We start thinking about how to survive those little sections there. Okay, so there's Hush Little Baby. Not a lot to talk about in that one. It's about seeing if your pinky can stretch there, and also for those of you who are newer, E and B7, they do come up a lot. B7 is absolutely beautiful, right? That's always going to be a cool chord. It just is kind of hard to get on and get off, and then E, of course. Now remember, from music's theory perspective, E, A, E, F, G, A, and B, so that's B, the E and the B7, they're best friends. They're going to come up a lot, and we like E. That's the first chord we learn in guitar is E, so it's best friend. You got to meet its best friend eventually. B7. Okay. The problem with the key of E is that its next best friend, its spouse, is C sharp minor, and that's not particularly convenient on guitar. All right, so that's Hush Little Baby. Probably one of the weirdest songs ever, I think. And then finally, for He's a Jolly Good Fellow, let's go grab that one and run through that one. For He's a Jolly Good Fellow is apparently, I am told, what you sing to people for birthdays in England, and don't know if that's true or not, but it's kind of cool that we're playing a happy birthday song for English people. So let's talk about this song. Is not terribly hard to play. You're in D. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. And so the chords are chords you've all run into. They're all level 1 chord, basically. There's so all these chords should feel comfy to you. And that's probably how you would play this song. And when you actually play it, right, you'd probably just strum it for, hey, play it with me. Let's just go through it. I will point out the real purpose of this song in the book is to teach you about senios and DSL fine. So you'll notice at measure 1, there's that little curly QS thing. That's the senio. That means at some point you're coming back there. So that's important to pay attention to. Then down at measure 6, you have a fermata right in the middle. For he's a jolly good fellow. And you know, however long you want it to be, which nobody can deny. If you have a group of singers around you, they're going to start singing after the socially approved length of the fermata. So just be mindful that if you're an instrumentalist and you're playing solo, you get to pick how long that fermata is. But if you have a group of people around, they're going to kind of help you with that fermata. And you have to obey, unfortunately. And then notice at measure 8, you see the word fine. Okay, and that means that's where the song ends, but there's still stuff that comes after it. So what's that all about? So Where we learn how that's dealt with is you go all the way down to measure 12. And measure 12 says DSL fine, and there's a repeat there. Now, some sheet music will just put a double bar line there. I usually put in a repeat because I think it's clearer. But I think for old school, this is how it's done kind of music. That would just be a plain old double bar, and that's going to send you back to the segno. That's what the DS means. Desegno. Go to the segno, and sometimes it's at the top of the song, and sometimes it's not. And in this case, it's not quite at the top of the song. And then you go to and play to the fine, okay? And that is at the beginning of measure 8. So you're going to play the first note of measure 8, which nobody can deny. And that's where you're going to finish. I've drawn an arrow on the tough axe down to the second 0 in measure 8. I like that to be the fine, really, which nobody can deny. Bong. That's what I like, is the fine. I think you have a little bit of, if you're playing as a group, you discuss where the actual fine is, and if you're playing on your own, you have some flexibility on which is the actual last note you're going to want to play. But that's what DSL fine means, and that's what the segno is, and that's the real lesson in this song. Let's go through, do the chords. We'll sing it real quick and see if it makes sense. 1, 2. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. Then you can make it as long as you want, which nobody can deny. I like that D note at the end. Okay. You notice this song is easy to fall asleep on. You're like, oh, this will be a fun song. For which nobody, for he's a jolly good fellow. Oh, I already got to change chorus. For he's a jolly good fellow. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on right off the bat. You got to be on your game. I do have an arpeggio on here. I don't think it's a good arpeggio, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index. You might want to do that, or you might want to just do thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow. Which nobody can deny. So that's just thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle. You can try the other one too. It's a little more interesting. For he's a jolly good fellow. No, and it's not even right. So those zeros in measure 2 should be the D chord. So I'll fix that. I'll fix that arpeggio. I don't think I like that one. I'll put a better one. Let me just write fix arpeggio on here. I think we can do better than the one that's here. 023, let's see, 023, 023, etc. Okay, fix. So I'll update that arpeggio. I don't think that's a good one. But you guys know you don't need the arpeggio written out. You can just hold the chords 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That always works. It's always going to be awesome. Okay, let's play how much time we got? We don't have time to play everything. So let's walk through the tough acts. For those of you guys on melody, notice everything's 0s, 2s, and 3s. So you're probably either in first or second position. And then not until you get down to measure 6, you got to come up here and jump up to 7s and 5s. Okay, and a lot of times with 7s and 5s, I will go to 5th position and play the 7s with my ring finger. I think that's usually the most effective and least fraught with peril. It's just when you see 5s, and especially in this song where there's 7s hanging around, just go to 5th position and play your 7s with your ring and you'll be fine. Let's talk tough acts very quickly. You got a 3 to get started, and you're holding the D chord, and then a nice strum on D. Okay, 2202. And then you could either put a full G chord on or just 0003, which is what's written. And then back to your D chord. Hit the 2, A7, chord. 3-0. Back to your D chord. And the hard part here is to get to the D7 quickly. And then 0-0-7. D chord with your 5, pinky up on 5. A7 with the 3. I would probably just do a little bar there. And a D chord. Hit the D string, and then you go to the 2 to lead in. The 2 is the pickup into note in major 9. Pinky up on 5. Slide to 7. Slide back to 5 with your D chord. Go back to the Senyo. Let it ring. That's lovely, right? Really a lot of stuff going on there. Way harder to play than you'd think it would be for a birthday song. All the birthday songs are hard to play. All right, gang, that's it. That's what I know about guitar. That's it. That's the total list. So hope you're having a good day today. Yeah, that's it. That's all I know. Donna says, don't lecture you at the end of class. Random act of kindness. Stay safe. Practice. Show up. Like and subscribe. And that's it. That's all I know. So is that a lecture? I don't think I think she's overblowing the lecturiness of that. I don't think I'm lecturing you. Let's see what else is going on. So that's it. You guys have a wonderful day. I'm going to pull the plug, and I'm busy fixing a couple of things that I'm going to do on the somewhat revised version of this. 0-2. I think I'll just make that a 0. And then there's that. There's that. You're welcome, Nancy. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Elizabeth, good to see you. And let's keep it going. Okay, 2 things will make you a successful guitarist: practicing a little and showing up a lot. I think that's the lecture I give. All right, guys, pulling the plug. You guys have a wonderful day.